All right, welcome to episode 21. This episode can drink as it is episode 21 of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the Chicago Cubs, and it is off season time. We come into the off season having blown a 3-1 World Series lead against the Los Angeles Angels. As you can see here, the Angels won Game 7 of the World Series, 4-2. And we've got some work to do here in the offseason as money's going to be an issue. We have $26 million for free agents, $16 million for extensions, and the big name for us is we have to bring back German Marquez. He wants $37 million. I'm not going to give him that much, but he was really, really good. Game 7 notwithstanding, 18-8, 216 innings and 3 ERA, 7.2 WAR. I need to bring him back, so we're going to have to sort through that. So before we sort through that, let's do this. So Chris Sale option, we are going to void that option, make Chris a free agent. He's out for the next 7 months with a torn rotator cuff. He pitched pretty well for us. I mean, obviously not worth what we spent to, or at least what we were paying him. We didn't really trade much for him as the Sox were looking to dump his salary. If you remember, we'll go back and look. We traded Liam Hendricks and Tyson Miller for Sale and Eduardo Lopez, and Lopez is coming along as a defensive, good bat type outfielder. He played in AAA last year. He'll probably repeat that this year, but pieces we gave up weren't anything spectacular. Hendricks was really bad, and you can see he's already retired, and Miller has pitched a couple of years out of the pen for the Red Sox. So, we spent a lot of money on him, but it was money that we had. New budget, $230 million payroll. Staff member retires. Billy Beane retired, so we're going to need to go sign ourselves a new general manager. Top 100 prospects. We don't have anybody listed there. Stanley Guzman is the number one prospect. He was claimed on waivers from the Astros, so nice job by the Astros there. Talent development machine. And let's take a look at minor league system rankings. We are third. Mario Gonzalez, the shortstop, is the number 19 prospect, and he's just kid can rake. He's going to start the season in A-ball again as the average was really low, but he is our shortstop of the future. Mario Guaraca, center fielder, played in short season A-ball. He'll probably start this year in A-ball, fast track to high A if he hits well. Esteban Castillo, he was our international free agent signing last year. Let's get a scouting report on him. He'll stay there. Eric Pena was our Rule 5 guy last season. Didn't play much. You can see he got into 55 games. He was 7 of 51, hit a couple of home runs. But he projects to be a very good outfielder, very good hitter. And Alex Bernal, who is now a 20-year-old in the rookie leagues. We signed him in 2022, so he'll start in short season rookie ball. So we'll get a scouting report on him. Arbitration, Kansas City fired their manager, Cincinnati fired their manager, and the major leagues are looking to expand. So let's take a look at the expansion teams here. So we're going to have the Memphis Colonels, which are going to go in the AL Central, and the Charlotte Bucks, which will go in the NL East. That is fine with me. All right, well, whatever I did that time worked. So let's go ahead and expand. Sorry, as I get older, I lose patience. I didn't feel like messing with that for too long. All right, so we are going to expand. I think it's going to be in the next off season, right? Or is it going to be this? Nope, I have to provide my my protection list by November 26th. All right, so the first thing we need to do is let's look at arbitration because we need to deal with Marquez. And I don't even want him to get to free agency. So can we do, let's move that opt out to after year 3. Will he take that? Will. All right, it's a lot of money, but I'm going to just jump right in. I'm not even going to, that takes him to his age 35 season. We can cut money elsewhere if we have to. Sixto Sanchez. Can we sign him long term? Do 7, 10, 12, 15, and 16. I don't think. He's probably going to want just the 1 year, but let's see. Yeah. All right, so he wants 7, 8, so that's fine. Let's 7, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All right, we'll just sign him to the 1 year. Lock that down. Taylor Trammell. Oh, okay. He's 27. Do 5 years? Will he do that? I think that's good. That gives us 2 team options at 11.5. Yep. Okay. I will gladly take that. Michael Baez. 3. Zach Short. We're going to call it a day with him. Davey Garcia. Offer him $1 million. And same thing with Brady Singer. He's not interested. That's fine. Just want to look. Yeah, Sale wants 1.6. All right, so Scott, we're not going to bring back. Abbott, we're not going to bring back. Allen wants big league money. I'm not interested there. Brendan Little, I'll offer him a minor league contract. Just looking for some depth here, just in case. It's a lot of minor league free agents, but that's okay. 28-year-old and high A ball. Yeah, that's good. All right. So now I knew we were going to have some decisions to make with a couple of our bullpen arms. Actually, the first thing I want to do is see if we can shop Rizzo, or Springer rather. We might have to wait until free agency for him. Yeah. Let's see. When his contract isn't actually... Oh, well, okay. What's Solak making? Oop. I mean, if I really want to just dump the contract, I can trade him for Josh Steven. Just call it a day. He wasn't, and his defense was just really, really bad for us. And we're back. Sorry about that. Do I just do this and just, oh, you know what? First things first. Let's get ourselves a assistant GM. And I look for ones that are blue across the board. I can bring in Theo. Blue across the board is favor prospects, favor hitting, favor power, favor offense, favor on base percentage, which is what I prefer. I could go for someone who favors pitching as long as everything else was in the blue. And it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, I'm the one who's going to be making all the calls. Yeah, sure. Jeff Bridich. That works. All right, so let's do this. Let's see if why am I all the way down there? All right. So we are going to protect. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. Ooh, okay. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit more complicated than I thought. That's 23 right there. Is there anybody else that I absolutely have to? Riley Thompson's numbers have slipped due to his injuries. Okay. Got Detmers on here, right? I wish it would put these in alphabetical order. It almost looks like they're in there randomly. I wish they'd be in alphabetical order. I mean, do I not protect Anthony Rizzo? If I don't protect Rizzo, then Vaughn becomes my starting first baseman, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Brad Hand was really, really good for us. Not going to protect any of these guys just yet. Let's see. See, I want to keep Ferguson because he's still getting better. Protect Ferguson. So I think it's going to come down to Alvarado and Hand. They're both lefties. Their numbers are similar. Hand is older. Let's see what we can get for Alvarado, if anything. Oh wow. Okay. Ryan Nelson. So there are some options. I don't want to trade a reliever for another reliever who's making just as much money. That seems dumb. Couple of cheap arms. Drew Rasmussen. Good swing, man. Really good stuff. Just a elite fastball and slider. Bad movement, bad control, though. I hate making trades with the Dodgers, but they always seem to have those players. Tyler. Tyler. All right. I get the impression if I offered up Hand, I wouldn't get nearly as much. Let's just take a look. I have a feeling we're going to move Alvarado just because he's worth more. Yeah. All right. So go Alvarado. Okay, Brad Hand's nickname is Protein Shake. That is awesome. That's just fantastic. And if we... Is there anybody else that we offer up like an Alvarado Vasquez package? Because we have a young catcher. Yeah, that doesn't really change it at all. That's fine. I mean, I don't need to trade Vasquez. Can't shop anymore. All right, so let's just go ahead a day. I can't believe I'm about to say I need another starting pitcher, but I think I need another starting pitcher. Gray just doesn't have the stamina. Baez, once we got to the postseason, if it wasn't Marquez and Sanchez, I just didn't trust them. And that's a problem. So let's do this again. And let's just take a look. I mean, I'd be willing to trade him for a number 4 starter, just to get somebody, in the rotation that I can trust. Oh, man, that movement's so bad, but everything else is so good. I've been looking at Fado for years now. Jake Woodford. That's one of the Logan Allens. The other one is down the line some. Braxton Garrett. He's put up some good years, but let's get a scouting report. Braxton Garrett might not be a bad choice. Nivaldo. Success at the back of the rotation. Jackson Kowar. He's got a relatively cheap contract. That's not bad. Let's get a scouting report on him too. His numbers are close to that. That might be a trigger I pull. So let's... Oops, I just hit the mic stand. Sorry. All right. So let's look at... Jackson Kowar. He's unhappy. Braxton Garrett. I think I'm going to pull the trigger here. Send Alvarado or Kowar, and that's going to save us a few million. Get them to eat 10% of the contract. All right, well, that's not bad. So we're going to pay him 2.2, 4 point. So it's going to be about 2, 4, 6, and 8. I don't like that 8 at the end, though. That's the only problem. If it was a 4-year deal, I might do that. All right, we're just going to hold on. We don't need the money right now, but we do need to... What I don't want to do is lose them for nothing. Expansion draft is when? On the 27th, which is after free agent filing. So we can go to free agent filing, see what kind of moves we can make. make sure we submit our protection list on the 26th, then we go to the expansion draft on the 22nd or 27th. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to step away, and when we come back, it will be free agency time. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. It is free agency time, but let's go ahead and take a look at what's happened between then and now. So we were able to sign German Marquez, 6 years, $210 million, $35 million a year for 6 years. Opt out after the third season, player option in that sixth season. A lot of money. I don't know if he's going to be worth it at the end, but he's worth it now, and we need that ace. So American League Gold Glove winners, Garrett Cole, Jake Rogers with Detroit, Matt Olson, Freddie Zamora with Baltimore, Bobby Dahlbeck with the Red Sox. Now I think he's won it at multiple positions. Yeah, he won the Gold Glove at first base in 2022 and 2023. Then in 2024, he won it at third. So good for him. Wander Franco with Tampa Bay, Aubrey Major with the Angels, Joe Adell with the Houston Astros, and Aaron Judge with the Yankees. In the National League, Sixto Sanchez, Austin Hedges, Pavin Smith, Luis Urias, Matt Chapman, Adiel Amador, Alec Thomas, Harrison Bader, and Bryce Harper. So Amador knocks Baez out of that shortstop position. Matt Chapman, 221, 48 home runs, 110 RBIs. Andy won the Gold Glove, 4.9 WAR. I'll still take Rafael. Roberto Osuna with Oakland won the reliever of the year, 3-3, 41 saves, 2.59 ERA. In the National League, Michael Kirian, no surprise, 12-0 with a 2.09 ERA. Again, we picked up Sanchez in that deal, so I am okay with that. This one hurts a little bit, as does this. This was not a good year for the bullpen. Nick Anderson, we traded him in the offseason, and he had 41 saves for the Padres. And then Jordan Hicks, who we chose not to sign because he apparently was a bit of a douchebag, finished third in the voting. So made some poor decisions out of the bullpen. Hopefully we can turn that around this year. AL Silver Sluggers, Adley Rutschman, Jordan Alvarez, Luis Arias, Austin Riley with Seattle, Gleyber Torres for the Yankees, 53 home runs. Let's look at his stats, his career stats. 27 years old. He's only got 331 home runs. 948 career OPS. Yeah, he's pretty good. Kyle Tucker with Houston, Luis Robert with Chicago, J.J. Bleday with Chicago, and Bo Bichette at the designated hitter spot. In the National League, Eddie Young, Colorado, JT Realmuto with the Phillies, no surprise there. Pete Alonso with the Mets, Gavin Lux, Eugenio Suarez with the Reds, 50 home runs. Fernando Tatis with the Padres, Juan Soto with a down season, only 7.8 WAR and 44 home runs. Cody Bellinger, 50 home runs, 8.2 WAR, and Bryce Harper. Manager of the Rookie of the Year, Orelvis Martinez, a shortstop, 275, 31 home runs, 85 RBIs. And in the National League, Zach Veen with the Giants, 305, 14 home runs, 53 runs knocked in. Ken Hill, is this Ken Hill, the former starting pitcher? Ken Hill? Yes, it is. He was from Lynn, Massachusetts. Ken Hill, the former pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Montreal Expos, won the American League Manager of the Year. And in the National League, Alonso Garcia of the Dodgers wins it there. American League Pitcher of the Year, Jesus Luzardo, wins his second. Missed most of 2022 with an injury, came back in 2023 and won the Cy Young in 2024. And in the National League, German Marquez and Sixto Sanchez finish 1-2 in the Cy Young Award in the National League. Marquez 18-8, 3.00 ERA. And Sixto Sanchez had a very solid season, 12-7, 3.20. So we are pretty set 1-2 in our starting rotation. Be nice to get a durable number 3 who can eat some innings, and that's going to be one of the things we look for in the offseason. Gleyber Torres wins the American League MVP award. And in the National League, it is Gavin Lux. 312, 43 homers, 128 RBIs. Teammate Cody Bellinger finishes second. Juan Soto finishes third. And German Marquez was our first It's really our only vote getter. Sanchez picked up a couple of votes as well. So Yoan Moncada files for free agency. Third baseman. 2 really, really good years in 2021 and 2022. Down a little bit in 23 and 24. He's going to be asking for a lot of money. We don't need a third baseman. International free agents. Anybody any good? Let's find something this year. Relief pitcher. Relief pitcher. And there's nothing. Free agents. Oh, Mookie is back on the market. Oh, and he only wants $18 million and no compensation. Oof. Justin Turner, 40-year-old Sandy Alcantara. That might be our main target, the former Marlin. But the first things first, we need to. We've got a little. No, we only have $18 million, so we are definitely going to have to cut some somewhere. So let's start with Springer. See if that deal with the Phillies was still there. It is. Okay. Anybody else that be a better option? No, because I think this is all about cutting salary. I've got outfielders. I don't have a lot of power, but I can deal with that. So let's do this. Can we, just for S's and G's, okay. Is that, yeah, sure. Number 1300. Worst offer you've ever seen in your career. Stop exaggerating. Okay, that's fine. They don't like the fact that we got rid of Springer. That's fine. They can deal with it. We are going to immediately. Don't need him. Put Medina on the 40-man. Stick him in AA and disable. All right. So there's one. Front office, salaries. And the other move we were going to make was going to be for Alvarado. So let's take a look now here. All right. So we could go Ryan Nelson. They look at him as a starter. But he's got that weak control and he's got really good stuff as a reliever. Okay, so there's an option. Jaciel De La Cruz is the same type of player, bit better stamina. Yeah, I mean, this is really about getting the most efficient. Let's try this. Let's try just prospects. Because this is really about just trying to get as efficient as possible for as cheap as possible. I mean, if somebody's willing to give up a top 100 prospect someplace, I would probably jump all over it, but George Valera can hit, just doesn't have a lot of power. Lake Money, now that's a name. Freudis Nova, he sort of peaked. Adrian Placenia. Again, the Dodgers with all these prospects, man. Where do they come from? It's just crazy. Landon Sims. This might be the winner here. That might be the winner unless there's another option. Diego Cartaya. Got it from the Dodgers. Always the Dodgers, man. Santiago Flores. He's another one of those high stuff, low control guys. But he saved 27 games last year. That was the Dodgers, right? I mean, we're getting a pitcher who is almost identical. Except that, no, I guess he's really not. His movement's really crummy. Do I go after a catching prospect? Never have too many of those. My catching prospects. If I pick up another catching prospect, then I can look to move. I can look to move Vazquez. Yeah, because he was really bad in Double A, though. I can't justify calling him up to the majors yet. Taya. Yeah, I think maybe I go after Cartaya and I call him up as my backup. He at least held his own in Double A. Yep, we're going to do that. Let's see if we can... Actually, let's see if we can get the number 60 prospect in baseball. Okay, we can. Who do we want to move? I see. I've got a connection with Jared Jones because he was my first draft pick. I don't want to move him. Baez, Bernal, Devers, Dominguez, the other Dominguez, Gonzalez, Miller, Pena, Rodolfo, Sanchez, Soto, Trim. So it's basically all my starters. So let's do this. Is there a bullpen or is there a prospect that I don't quote unquote need anymore that I would be willing to give up? Does this change anything? Doubt it does. These types of relievers usually don't make any noticeable changes. Yeah. Luke Lito's starting to come around a little bit. That's nice. But Rock Reggio, definitely a lot more. What if I gave you... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Where is he? Maybe do I just do it? Do I just move? Let's see, maybe I move Bernal. He's too young. Too young. And if I move Alvarado, that means I can keep Hand. Maybe it's time to move Jones. He's really good. Do I try to expand this some? What do they have for starting pitching? Nothing. Wow, that's rough. Syndergaard and garbage is what they have. Christian James. Kind of talked myself into making this work. So now I need to make it work. This is kind of where I wish I was doing this live. I could get some input from the audience, so to speak. Where do I stand in terms of? Because I'd move Soto. Do I need him? I don't think I do. Who do I have? Do I have anybody else who can play second? Yeah, I mean, I would need to bring in a backup second baseman, but I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to move him for Soto. I'm going to do this. And then, do they have anybody that I can slide in at second or short? Can we do this? It's not quite enough. Sure, you want Hardy, you can have him. All right, so we get a little weaker at backup middle infielder. Little weaker. But we get a solid catching prospect that can play alongside Bo Naylor. He's a righty, which is perfect. It means Naylor doesn't have to play against lefties. Yep, let's do that. All right. So where do we stand now? So we're up to 37 million. We need to go back in here. All right, so we've got 21 players protected right now. We have to protect 4 more. It's all pitchers. We need all players. Got to protect Alvarez. I want to hold on to Jensen. All right. So, and we're going to lose like all of these guys if and it is what it is, right? I mean, you can't keep everybody. That's kind of the point. I mean, he's gone. We're not going to protect Vasquez. Not going to protect Smith. I feel like I should protect Baez and leave Rizzo. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to protect Baez. And I think we're going to let Rizzo go. Urgh. I mean, he hasn't been great for us. First season we played, he was okay. He hasn't. Last year was his best hitting year. He's an average fielder now. He's got this year and next year left on his contract. 25 this year with a 25 million play. I'm going to leave him unprotected. All right, so that gives us one more player to protect. And I think I don't think it's going to be Hand. think that contract is pretty severe. So we can protect one more young player, it looks like. Who do I want it to be, though? I'm going to lose most of these players, I assume. I think I'm going to lose almost all of these guys here. I think I'm going to protect Singer. And he's a cheap 5th starter. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I need you guys to tell me if I was right or wrong here. So we're going to go ahead and submit that protection list. And we are going to take a look at the off-season center. So actually, we have to, because I don't think anyone is going to, let's go to the expansion draft. I don't think anyone's going to sign for the expansion draft. All right, so let's go to the expansion draft. Let's go ahead and sim through that. All right, so we lost Anthony Rizzo. We lost Riley Thompson. All right, that's what I expected, but that frees up $25 million. We now have $67 million for free agents. Our fan interest is still 100. Our loyalty is still good. So now we've got some money to spend. So let's take a look at the lineup. And yeah, we're going to have to fill some stuff here. So let's do this. So we've got Naylor at catcher. We've got Vaughn at first. Gonzalez at second. Devers at third. Baez. I mean, our starting lineup is pretty much set. And then we've got Pena, who can back up center field. So potentially we need... All right. So we're going to do this, though. We were going to call up Alvarez. We have anybody else that we want to call up? I call up Knowles because he can play all 3 outfield positions. So that gives us Knowles in left, Knowles in right. And obviously this isn't the lineup. I'm just screwing around here. So we need a backup corner infielder, backup infielder. We had one. Where did he go? There. The guy we got from the Mets. Where is he? It's Polanco. He's in Memphis. Because we didn't protect him. Okay. All right, well, that was my mistake. Pitching. Yep, we're going to need a starting pitcher. We're going to need a bullpen arm. A young... Oh, but nobody took Hand, so we still have Hand. So starting pitcher is going to be a number 1 priority. I think the guy from Miami is going to be our top priority. And then we need backup infielders. All right. So what do we got? Where is he? Sandy Alcantara. I think he's going to be our main target here. He's pretty good for the money. Tinowich has been hurt. Michael Fulmer has been hurt. Peter's back out on the market after a year. We could bring back Tanner Scott. He was pretty good for us, too. All right, well, the first thing I want to do is look at Alcantara. All right, I'm not giving him 8 years. That's ridiculous. We'll start with 4. 4 years at 16. $64 million contract, opt out after the 3rd season. He's okay with that. All right, so that's fine. I'm good with that. None of these relievers really blow me away. So I think what I might do is see if I can put together a trade. I've got some young talent, some players I can move. Let's do this. Oh, I'd love to bring Mookie in. And he wants next to nothing. Oh man. All right, let's think about this for a second. If I sign Betts, Trammell, I mean, do I move Trammell? And let's look. And I wasn't even thinking about this, but let's look. Maybe this is what we do to address the bullpen. Oh man, we can get some pretty insane prospects here. All right, so I am going to screw around with this for a bit. There's obviously a lot to do, a lot for me to consider. And a lot of it's going to come down to whether or not I can sign Betts, or if I choose to sign Betts. So I'm going to mess around here for a bit, see what the best option is. And, oh man, there's some good prospects in here. Wow. Okay. I don't even know where to start. There's so much. All right. So I'm going to mess around for a bit. When I come back, it will be time for the Rule 5 draft, and we'll go over what I did. So we'll see you in a minute. All right, it is Rule 5 draft time, but before we do that, let's take a look at what's happened since we talked last. How do I want to do this? I guess it doesn't really matter. You're going to see it all. The first deal we made sent... Actually, let's do it like this. This is more fun. All right, so the first trade that we made was... Where are we? Right here. So we made a deal with the Detroit Tigers. We sent Josiah Gray, Eduardo Lopez, and Brian Altuve to the Motor City for Dorian Gonzalez and Christopher Osorio, a couple of young pitchers, or players, I should say. Gray was obviously a tough one to give up, but as I've mentioned, I had real issues with his stamina. He didn't pitch badly, but he only pitched 136 innings in 27 games. I really struggled, at least in that one start against the Dodgers, and that just left a really bad taste in my mouth. So we moved him. Eduardo Lopez, we just had a surplus of minor league outfielders, so he was the most expendable. And Brian Altuve, who is like our sixth best catching prospect. And in return, we got Dorian Gonzalez, a 21-year-old. Not quite ready, but fielding-wise, he's already elite, so he's going to... I had mentioned that we wanted a backup middle infielder. He will learn on the job. He will replace Livan Soto. Has basically the same skill set and is a better fielder and is, I think, 6 years younger. And then Osorio allows us to get a young bullpen arm. He projects out to have pretty good stuff, decent movement, very good control, and a couple of good pitches. So he'll start off, he's on the 40-man, but he probably will start in Double-A for us this year. So we made that deal. The other deal we made, and I'm taking a risk here, is we traded Taylor Trammell to the Tampa Bay Rays in exchange for Joe Ryan. The reason it's a risk is because we have a contract offer out to Mookie. We offered him 4 years at $80 million, so 4 years, $20 million a year. He hasn't signed it yet. So if he doesn't sign it, that could be a problem. But I'm assuming that he is going to going to take it. Let's go back to the deal. So we traded Trammell, who put up a 3.9 WAR last year, 814 OPS. Down a little bit from the year before, but still 3 really solid seasons after getting him for really next to nothing from San Diego. We got him for Alfonso Rivas, who just broke into the major leagues this year, Cole Franklin, who is bouncing around in the minors, and some cash. So 3 really good years out of Trammell. We just signed him to a 5-year contract. So we get out of that contract, and in exchange, we pick up Joe Ryan, 28-year-old starting pitcher. He was only 12-12 last year, started 34 games, pitched 207 innings, and struck out a league-leading 245, and also led the American League in pitcher WAR. So he's going to slide right into our rotation. I said I wanted a durable innings eater, and that's what he is. And if he can duplicate any one of these 3 seasons, I will take it. He's in the last year of his contract, so that will be an issue. I guess he's still arbitration eligible. Interesting. Okay, well, that's even better. So, and I think you probably saw that we did sign Alcantara to that 4-year, $16 million a year contract. You can see he's only 39-81 with a 4.27 ERA. But again, that's pitching for some really bad Miami teams. He's a pretty solid pitcher. He's going to probably be my number 4. He'll slot in after Ryan. He's got 4 really good pitches, decent stuff, decent movement, decent control, pretty good stamina. And he'll pitch 160 to 170 innings. And apparently he'll make exactly 32 starts, which is fine. If I can get that type of consistency out of my number 4 starter, I will take it, even if we're paying him a little bit more. But we've got the money, so it's okay. Some other deals that were signed. St. Louis signed Alex Verdugo, who had 4 pretty good seasons with the Red Sox. But he's only unmotivated in this sim. In most sims that I play, he is disruptive, so I stay away from him. But played pretty well for the Red Sox this year. The rich get richer, as the Dodgers have signed Yoan Moncada to a 5-year, $126 million contract. So all they do is replace Justin Turner with Yoan Moncada. So they get even better. When we signed Alcantara, we gave up our 3rd-round pick this year, but that's fine. And that's where we stand. So we're at the Rule 5 draft. We've got 5 spots. We're going to need to save 1 for Mookie if we end up signing that contract. We do have some people we can remove, though, that I'm not overly concerned about. So anybody here that we want to add to the 40-man? Nobody in AAA. Really care if they take Mendez. Brady McConnell, we got him a couple seasons ago. I don't really care if anybody takes him. Gallardo. No. I mean, I may as well add them, right? I mean, I've got the spots. There's no reason not to. Gallardo, I think I'll add just because he's 23 and you're just never sure. Gone, I don't care if he goes. Hodges, I don't care if he goes. Let's just take a look at rookie ball and make sure there's nobody there. Nope. Okay. All right, so let's go to the Rule 5 draft. We're picking 30th. And let's go ahead and pick until we go. All right, anything here we want. Let's look at all players. Not bad, but I don't really have a spot for him. Not going to take another outfielder. That would be 3 years in a row. Yeah, I think we're going to Blaze Jordan. Oh, wait a second. Oh, that's the other Knowles. That's his brother. Blaze Jordan. One of the best names in all of baseball, but hasn't developed, unfortunately. So yeah, I think we're going to skip the Rule 5. All right. Let's go ahead and sim ahead a day. Let's see if we can get Mookie. It's just our scouting report. It's fine. Let's sim ahead another day. Still no Mookie. Bumgardner signs with Cleveland. Let's do the Hall of Fame voting. Joey Bats. Beltran. Early. Sexy. Elton. Hudson. Andrew Jones. And Petey. I gotta vote for Petey. He's never gonna make it, but I gotta vote for him anyway. Let's get Manny. Let's see if we can get him in this year. This is his last. This is his 9th season. So he's got one more year after this. Suzuki. And Sabathia. Beltran, Burley, Cologne, Helton, Hudson, Jones, Pedroia, Ramirez, Sabathia, Suzuki. All right. All right, so let's just sim ahead another week and see if we can get Mookie. If not, I will sim ahead to spring training. If he signs, he signs. And he hasn't signed yet. Starting to make me a little nervous. Does he still favor the contract? Does. It's going to leave us with about $11 million in free agent money. We still need a backup corner. First and short. That's a weird combination. All right. Well, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time digging for a backup corner infielder. I'll find something. Sim ahead one more time. And there it is. All right. So we have signed Mookie Betts to a 4-year, $80 million contract, and he will slide in to our starting lineup and likely go right at the top of the order. So we've got Gonzalez now there. So yeah, really all we need is that backup corner infielder. We're set in the starting rotation. I think we're going to be okay in the pen. With Baez moving to the pen, Rodolfo moving to the pen. I think we're going to... Ooh, Rodolfo's numbers have dropped. We may want to find... I wasn't impressed by the free agent relievers, if I remember correctly. Not to mention, they're a lot of money. I mean, Birdie may not be a bad choice, but he gets hurt a lot. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sim ahead now to spring training. Might make a move to try to land one more cheap bullpen arm. Free agent, trade, not really sure yet, but when it happens, I'll make sure I let you know. I'll be right back. All right, we are back, and it is almost opening day. So let's take a look at some stuff before we set our lineups and rotations. So Julio Urias, and he was a Cub for a few years, so keep an eye on him. He is done for the season with a torn UCL. He got his World Series trophy though, so good for him. The Dodgers have finally lost a player as Corey Seager signs a 5-year, $108 million contract with the Washington Nationals. Hall of Fame voting. Manny Ramirez gets in his 9th year. Sabathia and Suzuki both get in their first. Beltran gets in his 3rd, and that was it. Nobody else was particularly close. Dustin Pedroia got 20% in his first year, so he's got an outside shot. And we did make a couple of moves to fill in a couple more of those positions. I had mentioned I wanted a corner infielder. We traded a minor league reliever for Kelvin Gutierrez. He can play both first and third. He is a right-handed hitter. Hits both sides pretty well. He wants to be a starter. It's not going to happen here, but he should be able to get some playing time for us over the course of the season. You can see he's anywhere from a 0 to a 1 WAR player, but he'll be our backup, and well, that'll work. And we made a trade with Minnesota where we sent reliever Ricky DeVito to the Twins for an older reliever, 34-year-old lefty Taylor Rogers. But you can see Rogers' numbers are very, very good. He's making $8.5 million, but the Twins actually ate his entire contract. So we get a 34-year-old ground ball pitcher who can throw 95 to 97 and saved 25 or more games 5 straight seasons for nothing. So that will work for me. So let's go ahead and set our lineups. Clear all lineups, clear all depth charts. Oh, no, the first thing we got to do is send people down. So we got 37 players on the spring training roster. We got to send down a bunch of people. So let's look at pitching ratings. So we're going to send down Gallardo, Rodriguez, Osorio at the bare minimum. So we're at 16 players, so we still got to send down 3 more. So Jared Jones will go down to AAA. Will Fleming and Abbott will both go down. That leaves us with 13. So now we have 31 players. We got to send 5 players down. Kessler, Castellanos, Javier, Dina, Victor Mesa. Javier is out of options. That's fine. We will designate him. I think that puts us at 26, right? Yep. Okay. So now we will set the lineups. So our leadoff hitter will be Mr. Mookie Betts. In the number 2 hole, that's a weird lineup without Rizzo. Okay. So we're going to go righty, lefty, righty this year. So go Meadows second. All right. Well, that's a good problem to have. It's just I'm unsure exactly how to handle it. Do we do this? Do something like this? Gonzalez isn't... Gonzalez batting 5th. Yeah, Baez's numbers are starting to drop a little bit. That's okay. So do we do something? Maybe we do that. Maybe we back Gonzalez 3rd. He's got 84 contact. Jason Dominguez. I guess it would help if I were looking at my stats, right? So Vaughn. So we need our shortstop, our center fielder, and our catcher. Got Naylor. It's righties there, or I think we go righty here. And then Naylor, Dominguez. Go with that. It'd be nice. I don't want to bat Baez 7th. $61.50, 62, 61. I think maybe I do. He may not like it, but all he wants to be is in the starting lineup, and he is in the starting lineup. So I think we're going to go like that. It's lefties. Betts. $70. 63. We're going to do this against lefties. Vaughn. Meadows 5th. Baez will bat 6th. Dominguez will bat 7th, and Alvarez will bat 8th. Right? How do I do that? Because, I mean, he's still pretty good against lefties, but Javi is really good against lefties. So I think I don't like the 3 righties in a row, but I guess against lefties it's all right. So let's copy the lineup. And let's paste, and against here we're going to bring Gutierrez in as the DH. Move him up there. And let's create the depth chart. Create the depth chart. Create the depth chart and copy the lineup. Paste the lineup. And who do I want starting at DH against lefties? Or against righties? Do I want Pena out there? No. Cole's out there? I think I'm just going to put Gutierrez. I don't think it really matters much. So against righties, Gutierrez like him every 3rd game. Let's do once a week. Gonzalez, Gutierrez, if tired, every 10th game. Got defensive subs in there across the board. That's good. Pena is going to be playing every 5th game. That'll get him some playing time. Here, I think we're good there. All right. So pitching. So let's just clear everything. Marquez is going to be our number 1. We're going to go 5-man rotation. Marquez is 1, Sanchez is 2, Ryan is 3, Alcantara is 4, and do I go with Singer? Baez. I think we're going to start with Singer. Just because I just think the control is a little more valuable. And when you make him a reliever, yeah, it goes up to 88. So I think I'm going to go like that. All right. So we're going to go back to Ferguson as our closer this year, with Sir Anthony Dominguez as a setup man, along with Taylor Rogers. Brad Hand is going to be a middle reliever. We're going to use him a little bit more. Baez is going to be our other middle reliever. Garcia is going to be long relief. And '90, 48, 47. And he strikes out a ton of players. Love it. We'll give him some high leverage innings, I think. And Jensen will be emergency, and Rodulfo will be middle relief. I think that's what we're going to go with. Got a really solid rotation. Our bullpen is pretty good. Ferguson and Dominguez as a 1-2 are solid. We've got some good strikeout pitchers. We've got Hand and Rogers in there who good control, good movement. Let's just set our minor league system. Is there anybody that we want to call up or move around? Start down here at the bottom. I think Adams, got him from the White Sox. He's unhappy, but he's coming along slowly. Those are pretty solid numbers. Osorio is the reliever we got in that trade with the Tigers. He's in Double-A right where I want him. Triple-A is pretty stacked this year. I think Medina and Castellano are going to be trade deadline fodder for something. Not really sure what yet. But Castellano is blocked by Devers, and Medina's blocked by Meadows, really by everybody. I mean, all these guys would play over him. So we've got some depth there. So let's go ahead and sim to opening day. 21-9 spring training. So hopefully we can put what happened to us last year behind us. Again, dropping a 3-1 World Series lead, losing the last 3 games to the Angels. That's something you take with you through the offseason, but hopefully we can put it behind us. And so according to Tom Ricketts, he wants us to win it all. That's fair. Wander Javier is no longer a member of our organization as Charlotte took him. Top prospects, we don't have anybody in the top 10. Where do we stand? We're up to second now, as Castillo is 12th, Gonzalez 17th, Guaraca 23, Edgar Mata is 40th, and Bernal is 42nd. So a good minor league system. Preseason predictions have us going 162, scoring 867 runs, hitting 235 homers, posting a 3.85 team ERA. Meadows 36 and 113. Devers 42 and 131. Betts 36 and 92. Marquez 16 and 8, 209. Ryan 13 and 11, 413 but 208 strikeouts. I'll take it. And that's going to do it here. Let's just take a quick look. We've still got some money for free agents, a little bit of money for extensions. Our payroll jumps up a bunch next year, so Hand comes off the books. Baez we're probably going to look to bring back. Sanchez and Ryan are going to get raises. Might be time to move on from Javi, depending on how this season goes. Sir Anthony Dominguez, he'll have a couple years left at $10 million. So we have some Nick Gonzalez is going to get a huge raise, as is Bo Naylor, and those are and as Andrew Vaughn. So that's most of the increase right there. So we have a couple players making a lot of money, but that's okay. Your ace and a 28-year-old stud hitter, that's going to happen. So we will call it an episode. So when we come back next time, it'll be the end of April. We'll go through kind of that first month, and then we'll play through the All-Star break like we normally do. So please leave a like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and until we talk again, everybody take care. Bye-bye.